Comic book advertisements are a treasure trove of ironic humor, and that ranges from the iconic Hostess fruit pie ads, where the greatest enemies of the big two are defeated by friendship and diabetes, to the ad where Wonder Woman gets so cranky she turns into Doomsday and is defeated by a Snickers bar. But there's a cursed third form these ads take, and it's the crossover comic, where Eminem met the Punisher and Kiss met Archie. I would add a couple of good celebrity crossover comics, but the only good one that's well known was Superman vs. Muhammad Ali. But the celebrity crossover comic has risen again when DC released a crossover between Batman and popular esports empire FaZe Clan. At first I thought it was an elaborate joke that at best emulated those edited Moon Knight panels, but upon realizing that it was indeed real, I went to the Broken Remains of Comixology and grabbed a copy. And I gotta say, this comic is gold. It's as if DC created a meme compilation that works within the context and more so removed from it. To give credit to these kings of literature, the comic was written by Josh Trujillo and drawn by Scott Eden. So you would assume that this advertisement that's being sold for $3.99 would feel like a normal comic but with these special guest stars, but no, not really. Don't get me wrong, I find this book hilarious in an ironic kind of way, but Batman is barely in the book and his name is half of the title. But what is the story that this book is trying to tell, and what makes this title enjoyable despite its flaws? Well, the story begins with Batman and Oracle in the Batcave. The Riddler releases a VR helmet called the Enigma Box, and it quickly becomes the best-selling console to the point where scalpers are involved. Before we continue, I find this plot point ridiculous. I mean, I get that we buy things from questionable people all the time, but the idea of buying things from a supervillain, especially the Riddler, to the point where it becomes highly successful is hard to believe. Maybe if it was after the Riddler went good or something, but in here he's a supervillain that we all know him as. I don't want to harp on this for too long, but I have to get this off my chest before moving on. Anyway, the problem with the Enigma Box is that once you wear it, your brain gets scanned and messed with to the point where players are stuck in the digital world. While your brain is trapped, your body's being used to commit crimes, and this is apparently happening all over the world, which is crazy. Despite Batman being the world's greatest detective and Oracle being a masterclass hacker, they can't defeat the Riddler. So Robin suggests to the team that they get gamers to solve this problem, which is revealed to be FaZe Clan. FaZe, Apex, and Banks explain to Batman that members of FaZe have been trapped by the Enigma Box, so Banks, Apex, Rain, and Temper convince Batman to begrudgingly accept their help. I find it funny that Batman is said to be in his 30s, and a 30-year-old FaZe Banks is calling Batman a boomer. The panel itself is surreal on every level, more so because it exists at all, but this panel is a thing that broke the internet for about 2 seconds, and even with the context is still hilarious. Small tangent, but I find it weird that in The Batman, the Riddler assembled his crew from 4chan, while in here he brainwashes people to join his army. I have no idea if this is corporate synergy or just one big coincidence. Batman wants to send the guys inside the Enigma Box's network since Batman failed to stop the Riddler himself. This leads FaZe Rain to exclaim, "Sheesh!" I love this book. FaZe Rug then enters the house with a hilarious prank video idea while holding pizza boxes, but is shut down after Batman gives him a death stare. The guys are then taken to Oracle's hideout, where they are fitted with modified versions of the Enigma Box. Batman assigns Batwoman, Nightwing, Robin, and Batwing to accompany the guys into the digital world as their backup. I find it funny that Oracle somehow found the time to brand the modified Enigma Boxes with a Batman and FaZe Clan logo. The world's in shambles by some schmuck named the Riddler, but alright. The Bat Family and FaZe Clan enter the digital world. Batman and Oracle explain that the Riddler somehow knew that they were coming and he rigged the system, creating 4 tokens that are guarded by Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, and the Joker. Once the guys get all 4 tokens, they can free the people that are trapped in the Enigma Box. This leads to one of the best moments from the book. No offense to FaZe Clan, but this job's gonna take some serious firepower. Have you seen my clips? We got this. I mean, does he got this? Let me check his clips.
Okay. Yo, and I got this, dude. I swear to God, most of my...
Damn, the Riddler is fucked. Despite Temper working out a couple pages ago, and the fact that they're just gamers, Oracle outfits the members of FaZe Clan with digital armor, which evens the playing field. This was done by exploiting a vulnerability in the code, but if she was able to do that, then how wasn't she and Batman able to stop the Riddler? I know that this wasn't written by FaZe, nor are they given a writing credit, but it just feels like they wrote themselves to be the best of the best, and it feels like fanfiction. What's weirder is that this looks like the graphic novel that Ninja worked on, where he and his gamer friends were transported to the digital world and were given a digital upgrade to level the playing field. This also falls into isekai tropes, but I wonder why they went this direction and tried nothing else. It's a one-shot, so they probably did it to use every page effectively, but it just feels kind of half-assed and is written like a Wattpad story. Final tangent, why does Apex in the cover look like Keemstar? Keemstar is an owner in FaZe, so before actually reading it, I thought it was him, and that's kind of funny. So with the guys phased up and giving this creepy smile, they split off into teams in order to tackle Batman's Rogues Gallery. Also, Batman mentions that if you die in the game, you die in real life, so it's basically Sword Art Online. More isekai tropes. Yay. With all of that being said, Oracle is worried that the FaZe guys are in over their heads, but Batman reassures her with the added bonus of bringing 2 more members of FaZe Clan as backup. Don't worry Oracle, if you lose one, we can just replace them. Robin and Apex face Two-Face. Two-Face places 2 bombs on top of a pedestal and claims that the token isn't one of them. One of the bombs is real and the other is fake. Despite Batman clearly stating that if they die in the game, they die in real life, Robin decides to choose one on a whim, blowing all 3 of them up. Digital Two-Face is dead, with Robin and Apex somehow making it out alive. Apex heals Robin while FaZe Blaze monitors them from Oracle's hideout. Meanwhile, Batwoman and Banks are being pinned down by Mr. Freeze, and he goes on to say, "Did Batman really think a gamer could stop me?" I feel like Trujillo wrote these lines in so you can blow these up as posters or as meme material, and either way I'm in love with the corny writing. The comic has issues logistically, but when it comes to the actual writing, it's really fun and hard to be mad at. FaZe Banks turns into a trucker version of Santa and beats digital Mr. Freeze to death with his hammer, getting the second token. Two-Face's token makes sense since it's a coin, but why the hell is Mr. Freeze's token a naked Nora frozen in a snow globe? Did the Riddler program this? I wonder what Mr. Freeze would do if we found out. Batwing and Rain deal with Scarecrow, and Batwing gets affected by the fear toxin, so it's up to Rain to step up and defeat Scarecrow on his own. Despite bragging about his sick gamer skills to Batwoman, Rain doubts himself, but Batwing reassures Rain that he can do it. So Rain trickshots Scarecrow into oblivion, stabbing him in the eye and killing him. The third token is acquired, and for some reason it's a Scarecrow teddy bear? Is this some kind of reference to the teddy bears from Black Ops Zombies? I know that it's a huge reach, but I'm reading an official DC Comics crossover with FaZe Clan, so anything's possible. The final token is being guarded by the Joker, and Nightwing and Temper bond over their mutual hatred of the Joker. Man, I hate the Joker. Facts! FaZe Adapt is guiding them over comms and saying cringy shit like, "What's up, clowns? Temper, my back is starting to hurt from always having to carry you." But he also mentions that the Joker made copies of himself, and he's sending them a heartbeat scanner to find the real one. Keep in mind that all the villains are digital avatar versions of themselves, so the words heartbeat scanner and real one is out of place, but I'm nitpicking. Temper catches the Joker camping and attacks him, killing him and revealing the final token. But nothing's ever that easy, as the Riddler hacks Oracle's systems, which knocks out the communication with the teams. For some reason, the Bat family just disappears, leaving FaZe Clan to deal with a kaiju-sized Riddler.
Riddle me this, gamers. What's all-powerful, positively filled with questions, and 75 feet tall? Take your time, I'll wait.
The giant-sized Riddler depowers FaZe Clan. While all seems lost, FaZe Clan pulls a Plankton from SpongeBob and assembles all the freed gamers to attack the Riddler. FaZe Clan, rise up! The Bat family reappears out of nowhere. Seriously, where did they even go? And pulls down the Riddler Gulliver Tribal style. With the power of friendship, the guys defeat the Riddler and save all the gamers from the clutches of the Ligma box. The story ends with Batman being cooped up in the Batcave, no-lifing some game, and sending a friend request to the FaZe guys, making Batman an official member of FaZe Clan. I honestly had a great time reading Batman FaZe Clan, despite its flaws. It was able to hook me from an out-of-context panel and kept up the insanity throughout the book. What kind of bugs me, other than what I mentioned already, is the fact that they didn't use Red Hood, the infamous gun user in the Bat family, not being used in a book where the FPS guys defeat the Riddler makes absolutely no sense, especially when they use Batwing in his place. I mean, no hate to Batwing, but it just makes no sense. Also, for someone who makes up half of the title, Batman barely does anything in this book. He says things, but his presence is not as important as you'd assume. The art is pretty good, but sometimes the faces come off as creepy. Temper at the end has these lifeless eyes that pierce your soul. The art also has an advertisement look, which is apparent throughout the whole book. That probably makes no sense, but that's the best way I can explain it. But that's Batman FaZe Clan, an advertisement that's not groundbreaking, but it's not pandering, and it's really fun from beginning to end, either ironically or not. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to more content like this. I've always wanted to write a video covering a comic, and after looking for something that I wanted to cover, this fell onto my lap. I definitely want to do more videos like this in the future, and if there's any stories you want me to cover, leave your suggestions below. I'd like to thank my patrons, Leocrit, Hachi, and Retroway for supporting the channel, and for $1 a month, your name can show up right here. Love you guys, and shamalamamoomoo.